Miraculous tales of pilots surviving impossible odds are common, but few are about the plane itself. Robert S. Johnson, a young American pilot in the USAAF, would soon discover that his P-47 Thunderbolt was more than a fighter. It was a lifeline, capable of defying logic and carrying him through sheer devastation. Johnson enlisted in 1942, motivated by patriotism and the desire to fly. He underwent months of grueling training, mastering navigation, aerial combat, gunnery, and formation flying. Every lesson pushed his body and mind to the limits, forging the skills that would one day keep him alive. After graduation, Johnson was assigned to the 61st Fighter Squadron, part of the 56th Fighter Group. In January 1943, his squadron shipped to England to join the European theater. The pilots trained relentlessly, learning to operate under stress and to trust their machines completely. The P-47 Thunderbolt, nicknamed the Jug, was unusually large for a fighter. Its size, heavy armor, and powerful radial engine made it exceptionally durable. German ace Heinrich Bauer noted that the P-47 could absorb an astounding amount of lead, a reputation that would soon be tested to the extreme. Life on the English airfields was harsh. Pilots endured long hours of maintenance, briefings, and physical exhaustion. Each mission carried the constant risk of enemy fighters, flak, and the unpredictability of combat. Johnson learned to respect both the plane and the danger it faced daily. On June 26, 1943, Johnson escorted a formation of bombers on a mission over France. The group approached their target when suddenly 16 Focke-Wulf FW-190s descended on them. The ambush was swift and brutal. Johnson's P-47 was hit almost immediately. Shells tore through the fuselage, glass shattered over his head, and smoke filled the cockpit. One shell grazed Johnson's nose. The instrument panel was destroyed. Fire licked at the edges of the cockpit, filling it with thick black smoke, and the plane began an uncontrollable tailspin. Desperate, Johnson attempted to bail out. The canopy jammed just 6 inches from opening, and his parachute snagged on the shattered frame. He realized there was no escape. If he wanted to survive, he would have to fly the damaged Thunderbolt himself. A plane riddled with hundreds of holes, barely holding together. Hydraulic lines had been ripped open, spraying fluid into the cockpit. Johnson's eyes swelled and burned, leaving him half-blind. Engine oil coated the windscreen, forcing him to poke his head out to sea. Each movement was agonizing, the icy wind slicing against his swollen face. Through immense physical effort, Johnson managed to stabilize the spinning fighter. He leveled off and aimed toward England. Maneuverability was minimal. Every control surface barely responded. The plane's weight and damage threatened to crush any hope, yet the Thunderbolt refused to fall. Then he saw a lone fighter behind him, a FW-190. Johnson initially hoped it was a friendly plane, but as it drew closer, he recognized the markings. The German pilot was Egon Meyer, a Luftwaffe ace with over 100 confirmed kills. Johnson was entirely at his mercy. Meyer opened fire at a distance of just 50 yards. Bullets and cannon shells tore through the fuselage. Johnson jolted every time a shell struck the armor plate. The plane shuddered violently, each hit threatening to tear it apart. Survival seemed impossible, yet the Jug held together. Desperate, Johnson stomped the rudder pedals, swinging the plane left and right. Meyer overshot. In a fleeting, tense moment, Johnson squeezed the trigger, spraying rounds in Mayer's direction. The German peeled away, then drew alongside again, surveying the wreck of the Thunderbolt in disbelief. Mayer waved at Johnson in astonishment before withdrawing briefly. Johnson caught his breath. Then the German returned, firing relentlessly again. The P-47 took a pounding, the fuselage riddled with holes, yet it remained airborne. Johnson pressed on toward the channel, the closest hope of rescue. Finally, Johnson spotted the English coastline. Relief surged, but the plane was barely controllable. Flaps and brakes were useless. His eyes burned, his body ached from the fight to keep control. The Thunderbolt, scarred and battered, carried him steadily over the water. He landed at Manston Airfield in a dramatic, uncontrolled touchdown. Medics rushed to him, observing burns on his face, swollen eyes, minor flesh wounds, and deep cuts from debris. The plane itself was described as a sieve, every inch riddled with bullet holes and cannoned damage. 3 20mm shells had pierced the armor near his head. The propeller had 5 holes. More than 200 bullet strikes perforated the airframe. Yet the plane had fulfilled its purpose, carrying Johnson home against all odds, defying logic and surviving the impossible. Robert S. Johnson returned to flight duty just 5 days later. He would continue to fly missions, eventually achieving 27 aerial victories, making him a 5-time ace and the second most successful American fighter pilot in the European theater. The memories of June 26, 1943, stayed with him. The terror, the pain of smoke and fire, the sting of oil and debris, and the roar of cannons, all etched into his mind in vivid detail. Every flight afterward reminded him of the day his plane, not luck alone, saved his life. Johnson would never forget that day. The indestructible P-47 Thunderbolt carried him through fire, lead, and despair, proving that sometimes a machine built with precision, strength, and resilience can be the difference between life and death.